1984-85, I was a decathlete under the great coach at Indiana State, John McNichols. And Frank Zarnowski used to send out a bi-monthly newsletter about your results and up-and-coming decathlon meets. And one time I opened it up and there was a big full-page ad on how to make the Olympic bobsled team. The U.S. team was really getting beat a lot by the Europeans, and they started to utilize their decathletes over there, so the United States did that, and they recruited a lot of decathletes at that time, and that's how I got into it. It's difficult because it's not in our DNA here in the Midwest. Kids don't grow up running down a bobsled track like they do in the Adirondacks of New York. It still means that you have to go train on the off season to be physically in shape to push the sled and be agile. That was why a decathlete was such an ideal athlete, to push a 500-pound sled, be agile enough to jump in the sled, and be able to take the physical abuse it takes to just go down one time in the track. But you gotta love speed, and you gotta love adventure. I can remember guys comparing their bruises on their hips and their shoulders, and the last thing you wanted to do as a young rookie athlete in the sport is to act like you couldn't handle it or you complained. So you toughened up really quick. It was a difficult challenge, but it was a great opportunity for me to beat that challenge, and I couldn't wait to do it. Just recently, my son competed a year ago on the national team in a national race. Just was fortunate to go out there. I really wanted him to get a chance to race it and try the ride. He had said when he finished his ride, he called me back and he said, "Dad, nothing you said or described could even come close to the experience I had in the sled." But getting that letter and saying you're invited to come here, they believed in me and felt like I could be a part of this. Never dreamed that I would end up being in this sport 17 years. I was just proud of that moment. And from that time on, I was a part of, I think, 3 more until they built the one they have now. It's just a great facility that they have there at the United States Olympic Training Center for all winter sports. I ended up winning 3 national championships. I was on the Europa Cup Championship team, where you went around the world and competed. North America Cup champion several times. That's where you're in Canada and United States compete against each other. There's always like a quick, short journey for some athletes to get where their dream is. Mine was making the '93 World Championships in Eagles, Austria. We got beat in pre-World Cup races in Calgary. We turned it around, came back and found some changes we needed. At that time, I had James Purvis, Peter Blunt, and Garrett Hines on my team, and we funded ourselves, and I say we because Tony George of the Indianapolis Speedway helped fund us to get the trip over there and race off with the other guys on the Europa Cup and World Cup, and we ultimately made the World Championship team. But probably more significant than that was bringing in Jeff Bodine, Daytona 500 winner, NASCAR champion. And I was sponsored at the time by Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Holman George family, and so he thought there would be a connection. I made a call back to Jeff Bodine that same, within 5 minutes, and he wasn't going to come because he thought the track was going to be melting and closing up. And I offered him a ride if he could get there in the next day or two. And he was there 2 days later. He took a ride where he was driving in the halfway part of the track in the afternoon. He bent the sled, and his statement went worldwide when he said, I guess I'm going to have to build you a new sled. Well, I advocated, and I was probably the only one in the federation that advocated him to build sleds. He did, and 10 years later, we won. The Americans won the girls' 2-man race in 2002 Olympics in a gold medal, and the men won a silver and bronze in the 4-man, and later ultimately won medals after medals. But if I didn't make that call back, I don't think any of this would have happened. I truly believe we'd have never won as many medals without the Bodine project. Never forgotten the fact that if there was one award that I felt honored, it's nothing to do with how fast you are, who got across the finish line first. It was in 1994 that I won or was awarded the Sagamore, the Wabash Award for sportsmanship and saying no to drugs to kids. That was something that was I'll cherish forever. It was from my peers instead of winning in something. So I'm really fortunate. That would have never happened if I wasn't in the sport of bobsledding either. So through the grace of God, I'm still here, and I know He put me in that spot, and I'll cherish that forever.